Alright, what is going on, guys? Chili Game back again. We're doing another voiceover, and this was a game that I had, and it's quite funny how it turned about. See, I think I'm an AI here. I'm trying to do my AI missions for Tier 7 to get promotion orders, and I don't realize it here. I think I realize it here. Oh wait, no, maybe I didn't double take. However, my exact words for this moment were, shit, I didn't want to do this. Because, to be honest, I don't really like playing. I mean, Kutuzov was fun. It's, it's fun. Um, and my other Tier 7 premium is Jean Bart, and I don't really enjoy playing that either just because it's in every single match, and it's not special to me. So, I would much prefer playing some, other tech tree tier 7 ships and try to get better at variety. But, however, we're in this game. And at the end of the match, you'll see that maybe, you get put into some situations that you don't like or that you don't favor. And maybe just giving your best effort in it and you will get something out of it, I guess. And that is, I guess, what I learned through this. You can learn something through everything, so. Okay, starting off on the middle spawn, which is very weird because if you go to the right, where half the team is going, you have to either go around that island or you have to go in that gap, and that gap can be very dangerous if you get spotted. So I think the best option here is going to this left side. I feel like the left side always has the biggest problems or so, and as you'll see, they're gonna have 6 ships that are going to come around, and bad play on my part. I don't recognize this Jean Bart here, which if he was paying attention could have been an absolute devastating strike, and fortunately you start off the game with a fire. What I'm trying to do here is put my fires against everybody. And since I noticed this Jean Bart here, he's stuck, so I'm going to focus him down. And I even get the Iowa, so I smoked up, got pretty lucky, to be honest. Lucky enough that there were targets in range and that targets I could continually shoot. We're in a weird spot here, though. You see, if we, the biggest problem with this right here is, for one, our destroyer. If you see him, like, what are you doing, dude? Like, are you kidding me? Like, honestly. We get pretty lucky with fires this game. I mean, look at that. I mean, we are just spraying this guy. I think we get 3 perma-fires in this guy before he damage cons, and I think this might be a record for the fastest witherer. I'm not even gonna lie. I'll stop the time. I would like to see when I get the witherer because it was very, very quick. Look at that, 2 fires, 1 salvo, and that's why with Kutuzov it's so dangerous. If they don't have a fire, just aim for that midship around. Aim for about just a little bit higher than the second turret, and usually you'll splash that first midship fire spot, and then the shells will run down the side of the ship, and have a chance to set the last part on fire. You see there we get that second spot. So this was like hilarious, and we're actually getting super close to the witherer right now, so it could be not 4 minutes. It's gonna be about, it's right about here. I'm trying to see the time. 4 minutes and 4 minutes and 10 seconds is that's when we got the witherer. Sorry, what you just missed in that little scene there was very bad play on my part. I was stuck without a smoke screen going bow in towards Jean Bart and all these guys, so this is where I also make the second mistake, is I thought I would kill this Jean Bart with a torps. He played smart, and now we have no way to disengage. And yeah, I mean, this is just not a good spot you want to be in, because he's going to penetrate right through my stern, and he's going to get a lot of damage on me. So this was definitely where we screwed up the most here, and it's not that we died here. However, it made us play differently later on in the game. We had to play super cautious. So, you know, who knows how we could have played this game better if we had more health. And this kind of, we still do we still do really good, but different outcomes may have been happening if we would have played it a little bit smarter there. I should have already been kiting this way before the smoke screen left, and I would have been fine. So not much going on right now except for Jean Bart. Thankfully he's not targeting me right now. Unfortunately, we're getting rolled on this side, and you can't see most of the ships, but there's a lot of ships that are very close right now. Around that mid-section of the islands, we just can't see them. Already over 120,000 damage, 10 fires. I mean, this is the damage that these ships can do. It's actually ridiculous. You see there, he gets one. You see how lucky one last salvo can be? He got 7,000 health off of us there. So people say, like, this is a game of milliseconds. If his reload is 2 seconds longer, he doesn't get that shot off, and we save a ton of health. Luckily, Iowa misses us there. I'm getting ready to pop my second smoke screen. I've already lost a ton of health, and my ability to carry, it doesn't matter how good you are, but the more health you lose in this thing early on, the less ability you'll have to carry late game. Luckily, this is why I go for fully packed on the Kutuzov, just to get 3 smoke screens. I think it's a very good choice. Just because, like you see that first spot, I didn't have a problem popping a smoke. So now we're in a pretty good spot as long as our friendly battleship can hold out as long as possible. And you'll realize that kid that made that one maneuver was very questionable, but you'll notice here in a second he's about to start entering the cap circle, which in my opinion is very bad play because I'm pretty close to it. Kid doesn't have torpedoes that can, I can outrun his torpedoes if I spot him, and him going into the cap circle tells me exactly where he is. So always be wary of that. A good player will pick up where you are, even in domination. So just make sure you're always aware of what information you're giving to other players. And you see here, this smoke screen is about to run out. I'm about to shoot a couple more shots and then boogie on out of here because I expect that he's launching torps. I'm spotted. That means the kid is within my smoke firing penalty, so he's around. Well, I don't know what he was doing, but I mean, this was probably the most questionable destroyer play I have ever encountered, honestly. He could have fired AP there and got me down pretty low, but super unfortunate for this guy. He outran his smoke screen, and the US smoke screen plumes for a very long time. My best bet here is I'm down to 7,000 health, 182,000 damage. I have to go undetected here, and thankfully, if you watch the shots, you can somewhat dodge. Luckily, we dodged that because that could have been fatal. Any of these volleys can be fatal, and I know that. John Bart has a reload of like 22 seconds, so any 22 seconds that I give him or an extra volley, I could die. So what is my plan right here? Well, for one, we have to protect the base. I want to get behind these 2 battleships and smoke up so I can use them as spotting. And honestly, this could have been the 300k game if they would have pushed a little bit harder and if I would have gotten more damage off the Colorado. Um, you'll see, it's a very hectic last couple minutes here. One, because it takes forever for us to spot these guys because they're just kind of wheeling out here. But it's whatever, I guess. Good news, I just finished one of my last semesters in college for public health, so we're freaking done with this semester. I'm freaking excited. I get to work and hopefully bring you guys a lot of content, so I'm very excited. Notice that Jean Bart is spotted, however our detection is not much better than his, so we're going to go ahead and start going forward. If we get, all it takes is for us to get detected one time and we could die, so I'm waiting to know that this guy is going to be permanently spotted by the Amagi behind me, and then I'm waiting, and you see that I still have 15 seconds on my smoke screen, so I want to shoot so badly, trust me I do, but I know I would be so pissed at myself if I would have died doing this little maneuver here. I fire a little bit early, it's not too big of a deal though. And I think what really kills it here is I send off a couple bad shots. And how did that... Do you see where I aimed? I aimed at the Jean Bart's turrets, just like every other shot, and it lands short. I don't know. I feel like sometimes that happens and it can really ruin, you know. I had a very hard time hitting this guy and actually getting fires on him. So the next thing we're going to do is tell our girlfriend hello. Hello. You're good. I see you have more yogurt. I know it. He's been meowing like crazy. Anyways, we get a fire on the Colorado, and I've struggled to get damage on this Jean Bart, which is ultimately going to really suck. We just went over 200,000 damage, got a permanent fire on the Jean Bart. He's been begging for you all morning. He wants to play. And next thing you'll see is this Iowa here. I realized that Iowa has to go. We have fires on both of these guys, but he's the lowest health out of all of them. And he's giving us a pretty... It's definitely going to be the closest, so I decided to go ahead and start turning my guns towards that way and angling to kill him. Luckily, we keep lighting fires with these back turrets here. But again, we don't have enough health, so we can't just go guns blazing here. Which really sucks. Like, I am just dying to pull the trigger. And but I know... I see that Iowa just shot, so this is my chance. He's going to have to wait for his reload. And it gets pretty hairy here, I'm not going to lie. Because you see just the back two guns here, it's very hard for us to get pretty good damage. And what I was debating on here was going into the map border and being kind of cheeky. At this point, I didn't even care. Luckily, by the time he gets to shoot again, we kill him. So, thank the Lord. We're not being targeted by the Jean Bart either, and Colorado was pushed in a little bit too hard. So, luckily, we're going to kill him. This is where I wish I said I would have gotten more damage off of him. But, you know, we took care of the... Did you see that? We had just the back turrets and two perma-fires, or just two fires on them. But took care of the Iowa. Colorado's going to go down. Unfortunately, the Jean Bart is making the right play here. He's backing up. Our battleship and their cap is... I'm not going to lie, I'm not too sure what he's doing. And I think he overextended a little bit. Luckily, Jean Bart's coming into play here. We have to shoot. We have to kill this guy because we are about to lose these ships. So my theory is that if we don't start killing people, that we're going to lose on points, and that's exactly what happens. We lose a synop, and what really sucks is we got the lead back after a while, and unfortunately this Jean Bart makes some really good plays. I start missing shots like crazy. I didn't realize that he was stopping here. So I miss a couple volleys, which, you know, takes off in the damage total, which was very sad because my record is 259. And pretty much makes it to where we can't kill this guy. We're in the lead, however, I have a feeling that these two guys are going to go down and our guy in the spawn, so technically we made the right decision, but it is too late. That is all she wrote. And we freaking tied our damage record with Chapayev. 259,000, 3,000 base XP and a loss. That was just, it was difficult to make plays there and difficult to decide what the best play was, but you know, I think a lot of that has to go with me losing a lot of health in the beginning. It had to made me had to play a lot more passive. I couldn't shoot when I wanted to shoot, so obviously some mistakes there. However, still a super fun game, especially, you know, thinking that I was playing AI. And Lauren, I think you were actually in here for this. You were, yeah. Yeah, me and my girlfriend were just sitting here. I was trying to make some PO. I was explaining to her what promotion orders are. And I got into this game and I was like, shit, I didn't want to play this. However, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to end it here. Y'all have a good one, and I hope you guys enjoyed. See ya.